Ghana, motorcycles have become an indispensable part of daily life, offering affordable and accessible transportation for millions. However, this growing reliance on motorcycles has come at a devastating cost. Road crashes involving motorcycles claim countless lives annually. A critical factor in these tragedies is the widespread use of substandard helmets, or worse, no helmets at all. In a country where helmet standards do not yet exist, riders are left vulnerable, relying on flimsy, counterfeit gear that offers little protection in the event of a crash.
The Legal Resources Center, which is LRC for short, got some funding to implement a project on road safety. And the basic thing that we are doing on this project, first of all, is to advocate for speed management. And the second bit is about helmet use, specifically to advocate towards the development of helmet standards fit for Ghana's weather condition and road network. And so for almost 1 year now, the LRC has been advocating on this particular exercise. And thankfully, just about some few months ago, we had the support of the National Road Safety Authority, the Ministry of Transport, the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority, and the Ghana Standards Authority, who are government institutions charged with specifically in terms of development of the standards being the mandate of the Ghana Standards Authority. And so they have a committee composed of the institutions that I mentioned, which will be developing standards for motorcycle helmets in Ghana.
I say your committees be brave after helmets and you can Ghana Standard Authority for if I agree say and then helmet na use me say the quality no our form the antina quality no form because you use second hand goods abrochire omo use and say na omo ye den omo de breye ye my Ghana mu I see an yehu ye no helmet no enye no nyina na ye papa.
Legal Resources Center, having had the opportunity to be part of the committee that is ready to start with the development of the motorcycle crash helmet. We are having these particular interviews to solicit their input and how, in terms of the development of the standards, factors that need to be considered in terms of cost, in terms of what kind of helmet is properly fit for Ghana's condition. Because the experts will tell you that we do not have a one-fit-all helmet for every country. And so every country and what kind of helmet standard it wants to, in terms of road network, in terms of the geographical space, in terms of the weather pattern, and other host of factors to inform them in the development of standards.
Quality helmet, and we have many types of helmets. We have the full face and then the half face. This one is the half face because the jaw is not there. Into a half face. No glass no and the cover has said. And at normal circumstances, I was saying the full face. I cover or what you say no baby. I said but if there is any emergency now, they have a pimp motor and still an enemy that full face will prevent your jaw.
Thankfully, the Ghana Standards Authority-led committee would start the development of the standards very soon.
Ghana Standards Authority is a state institution responsible for metrology, standard development, and conformity assessment. Our department is responsible for the development of standards in the area of engineering, building, and basic standards. Now, why the need for standard development area of helmet? First, our mandate is to protect lives and property. No GSA, the basic function of standardization is for consumer protection. So we have to come in with the standards in the area of helmet in order to protect the lives, the motor riders, and the property that they have bought or they are using. That is the first requirement.
The helmet, there was standard because and now the baby said companies now motors organa. The tomato or mother can the view of Amasa and Yakura, and Yarukoto, whom we saw and Oprana. I am a baby, it's me. And so look about motor store. No, the helmets and I just up to the standard no account. You know, saying, any are buying any standard authority. You did that mostly away. You do the man. Answer legalization, everybody. And because I said, Edinburgh, any stable green, and I know when you say helmets, standard now, a year required. Or what the back counts.
Helmet here, because any least accident we have ever been, it affects the head. So first of all, we are much interested in the helmet development. Say, the helmet yes, higher quality, higher standardized one. A free mind. And so I am sure, sir, Ghana, as far as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has taken it upon himself to develop or to promote the Okada business, I know there are good things ahead of us, which is coming on our way. That will make the work to be very attractive.
The helmet is such an important device for purposes of motorcycle usage. In fact, it's a use requirement in that without it, regardless of your qualification or competency, skill at driving, one should not be allowed to get onto the road without it. It's so important because of the protection it offers to the head and prevention of neck and head related injuries. So it's important we standardize, because on the market, private sector entities, organizations that provide these user requirements or use requirements within the sector, typical of us, if we are to be very frank with ourselves, a number is looking at maximizing opportunities for profit. And so without set us to be able to set minimum benchmarks.
We have received the funds and we are about to commence from 1st May, activities of the working group will start. And we are hoping that in 6 months' time, we will be done with the development of standard for helmet.
We need the helmet not to be too expensive that our members will not be able to afford.
Now, one key thing that the LRC had actually advocated for since the current government mounted the advocacy towards legalizing the use of motorcycle and tricycle for commercial enterprise, there was this need to advocate to ensure that in terms of the age criteria, the minimum age criteria, which initially the government set it at 25 years. Through the various advocacy interventions churned out by the Legal Resources Center and other stakeholder institutions and civil society at large, the government has finally proposed a reduction from 25 years to 21 years.
There are so many youth that are already in the domain of Okada riding. And so for that matter, when they came up with the 25 years, it came as a shock. But if we have been clear with that the fact is the mother constitution is also having that 25 years in the constitution, and whatever will be done will not go contrary to what actually has happened in the mother constitution. So we propose the 21 years, even based on the fact that even though it is not all that okay with other people, but for the standard of level that we wanted our union to be, and also what the constitution also demands.
Much as you have the skill to ride or drive, does not necessarily mean that you must be allowed to drive and ride if the conditions or other conditions are not right. That even though you are competent to drive and be issued with a license, in the current law, if you set yourself out to drive a commercial vehicle, beyond having to be qualified at 18, the law sets other conditions to say that to drive a commercial vehicle, you must be, say, 25. It's important that the primary targets begin to appreciate that once you put yourself up to drive commercially, it comes with some additional responsibility, mindset, maturity that could be well distinguished from just having to ride or move a bike or a vehicle at 18. But the committee, I want to believe, will look at all of these considerations and views that have come across board.
And I'm very, very much happy, and my union is very much happy that the government and other stakeholders who are involved in the committee and also amending the constitution has also agreed to go by whatever we have proposed to them.
Now, in terms of this particular exercise, every citizen in Ghana, once you ply the road, whether you use motorbike or not, we have awareness in terms of how to be safety conscious when you are using the road. And if you are using motorbike, to ensure that once Ghana starts the development of the helmet program, Ghana starts with enforcement of helmet program, you would get the kind of helmet standard that Ghana has embossed or endorsed for use in Ghana when it eventually becomes a mandatory provision in our laws. As it stands now, when you check Section 16 of the Road Traffic Act of 2004, it actually mentioned that a motor rider should have a crash helmet on when using or riding the motorbike. However, it doesn't specify what category of motorbike helmet should be used or should be worn, and hence advocacy that vacuum needs to be bridged. And thankfully, we have the support from the Bloomberg Philanthropies for Global Road Safety, short Big RS, supporting the Legal Resources Center, and we also have the Ghana Standards Authority being supported to develop the standards helmet fit for Ghana's condition. And so to the public, we encourage you all to be part of this particular exercise. Our numbers are out there. In terms of the development of the standards, if you have any concerns as to the factors that should be considered as the committee starts work to develop the standards, we call on you to feel free and share your concerns with us. Now, to the government and the government institutions, we want to applaud you for this particular bold initiative. We call on the Ghana Police Service, the NTTD, and every law enforcement agency in the country, and the regulators also of road safety space. Let us all do our work to ensure that we have road safety conscious in mind, to minimize the many infractions on the road. We thank you, the public, for your support in ensuring that this exercise comes into fruition.